bum 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 bum
Can't hear
bum bum bum. Now,
Ah.
just to make sure, this is supposed to be on window capture, right? It's not supposed to be on Younger Bro Stream.
Okay, only one of my headphones is working.
Monitors. Yeah, because we can't put it on the game capture because the game capture doesn't work correctly. We have to put it on window capture to capture the window.
Might have to charge my earbuds, but I don't know.
Probably, if they're... Is it blinking?
No, I just died.
Oh, then, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's blinking.
It's blinking, okay.
So, well, that might mean it's dead.
Maybe.
Because mine, the way mine works is it has 3 dots, and when it gets down to the 1, it'll go 3, and then it'll have 3 dots that are on, and then 2 dots are on, which is at 66% power, and 1 dot that's on when it's at 33%, and then it starts blinking the 1 dot when it's at basically 0 power.
Okay.
So.
Anyway, hello people, it's us, Two Bros Game, and I'm your host, Younger Bro.
I'm your the host, Older Bro.
And we're back with some Katawa Shoujo. Sorry that it's been a while since we played it. I wasn't expecting us to get new phones Friday, so I had to deal with that.
It's been one stream, man. But, by the way, Mr. B, don't call me Shirley.
So yeah, guys, I got a new phone. The only issue is I'm currently not logged into one game that I was going to bring back. And if they don't log me in, then I might have to discontinue that game.
Again.
Well, I haven't discontinued it yet. I just stopped playing it because I got pissed off at the emulator.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if I read
this game looks super bootleg today.
This is
still
how
image of a dorm room bed.
Well, this is our dorm room. Like, what else do you want?
Yeah, Mr. B, it's a dorm room. It's
like,
gonna look like a dorm room.
Here's the thing. I did comment on the backgrounds a little bit. It does look off. And this is the HD version, in quotes.
Yeah. To be fair, Mr. B, this game was made by 4chan. So you tell me if that counts as bootleg.
Yeah, I think the background scenery could be better. But they make up for it with very, very good animation. Anyway, I have no idea if I read this. The classes for the day are over. Still feeling pretty full from the big lunch that I had unexpectedly eaten at the cafeteria. I returned to my dorm planning on finishing my homework, and like that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I don't need school. I'm going in solo. Who needs a social security card or even an identity? I'm going all in, baby.
Pretty sure this is Japan.
He gets arrested for the next day.
Pretty sure you don't get arrested if you tear up your social security card. You just have problems anytime you need your social security card.
He felt so free that he went streaking through the streets. Anyway, and probably
now I did find out it is illegal for
like
somebody to take and destroy your legal ID.
For someone else to do that.
Yeah, because I was reading a story where somebody went into a. Sure, Mr. B, you absolutely can. I was reading a story where somebody went in to a gas station, or it was someplace that sold alcohol, and they tried to buy alcohol, and the person was like, "You're obviously too young," and took his ID and cut it in half, and he called the police on them and got the cashier arrested because you cannot take and cut up someone's ID. So it's just like, no, this is my very legitimate ID, and you just stole and cut it.
Like,
go to jail.
Way back when, I don't think that law existed.
Yeah, oh, no, sure.
I'm thinking, like, before, like, the 70s.
I don't know. But it's like, yeah, you definitely can't just cut that.
One of my dreams will be fulfilled soon. I was elected to be Master of Ceremonies at statewide mathematics competition. Ooh,
oh, that's cool,
nice,
Mr. B.
Nice. I hope you win.
No, he's the Master of Ceremonies. He's hosting the thing.
Oh, he's hosting
it.
I didn't know
He's the one in charge of making sure the competition goes well, basically.
Oh, okay.
He's the MC.
Screw a teaching job. Yeah. I'm going to this.
He's not Mr. B that day. He's Mr. MC.
He's Mr. MC. MC Beast. Anyway, I feel like I need to eat less than I used to. Maybe I don't use that much energy now that I don't do much beyond reading. However, The letter on my desk has naturally caught my
Of course it does.
Oh,
it's signed
right.
by Iwanako.
Right, Iwatako.
Or Iwataka, sorry.
It's the first piece of mail I've received here at Yamaka, so it feels special even if it wasn't something as rare as a handwritten letter. What causes me even more trepidation is the name of the sender written neatly on the back of the envelope, Iwatako.
No, I was right. It was Iwanako.
Did I read this?
No.
I swear I read this.
No.
Like, we already knew it was Iwatako.
It's because the title of the chapter is Iwanako's, like, regrets or something.
Unfortunately, Mr. B, I'm not part of your balanced breakfast, so I don't think it would be in your interest to eat me for breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, again, and as I previously stated, we're both straight, so you can't eat him in any other ways either.
I have no idea why she would write to me. I haven't been in contact with anyone from my old school. I'm from the old school since I transferred, and Iwatako is the last person I'd expect to write.
There's no T in her name. It's Iwanako.
Iwatako.
There's no tea! She doesn't even drink tea!
The last time I saw Iwatako was terribly awkward. Embarrassingly, I'm just gonna keep...
I know!
So, she came to my hospital room, peeled me an apple out of courtesy, and then we practically sat in silence
peeled
for
an
half
apple
an
out of courtesy!
For half an hour.
Wait, what culture do you live in where there's courtesy apple peeling? Is that a thing in Japan? Where you go to a hospital and you're like, oh, I see you have an apple. Let me just peel it for you. Like, out of courtesy.
I don't even know if this is like in anime where girls just offer to peel you an apple or help you with your lunch.
It is definitely Japan.
Like, getting you lunch is one thing, but specifically peeling an apple, I can't.
Like, it's just
I'm not sure.
It's just common courtesy.
She said goodbye and didn't look me in the eye when she closed the door. It must have been a natural end to the series of visits that we probably pretty painful for both of were pretty painful for both of us. Every time she visited me in the hospital, I wanted to talk to her, but something stopped me every time. Every time that I didn't speak made the next time even harder.
I
thought she just never visited him.
No, apparently she visited multiple times, and every time he just didn't say anything.
I could have swore he said
asshole.
I never saw her again.
No, I think he said that the visits became like less and less, and eventually like nobody visited.
Yeah, Wanako always had this aura of fragility around her, as if she'd shatter into pieces at the slightest disturbance in the force. Initially, I think it must have been that delicacy that attracted me to her.
See, he wanted to eat her.
But after what happened back then, it felt as if she really had shattered. She looked so sad that I didn't want to say anything that might upset her, and I never could figure out the right words to say. I told her that it wasn't her fault. She nodded, and I really think she understood that if it hadn't been that, then sooner or later something else would have made my heart give out. Yet she looked so hopelessly sad every time she opened that door and entered my room.
Yeah, because I mean, how else do you view it other than I sent you to the hospital?
Now, if you can stop looking at me like a wounded animal, I'd start acting like one.
Wait.
That was a quote from a movie.
No, I mean, it just replayed that line again. Like, it just put the line up, and you clicked, and it deleted the line and put it again.
Oh. Yeah, she looked so hopelessly... Oh.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it just literally...
What the hell?
It just literally deleted and redid the line again. Did you, like, click the back button and then the forward button again?
No.
Check history.
Oh, I must have hit the wheel.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say, what the hell?
So I never managed to say the things I wanted to say. In the end, that might have hurt her even more.
Yep, probably.
Carefully, I opened the envelope. Too bad it's in Japanese, so I can't read it. And draw out the folded letter.
You're a piece of shit! What the fuck is wrong with you? I came over to your hospital bed 17 times, and you sat there in silence and didn't do anything. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I can't tell if this is a threat letter, a love letter, or a I'm sorry letter because I'm English.
It has a heart and a knife, so I think that's bad.
Dear Hisao, how are you? I hope you are well and happy at your new school. Everyone here misses you. I miss you. Almost all of our second year class got put together in class 3-1 for the final year, so we are pretty much comfortable right from the beginning of the year. I'm sure you would have been assigned to this class as well. The mood among the third years seems to be very anxious about the final exams, even though they are so far away. The teachers are badgering us about it all the time. That sounds like a private school. Even old Mr.
No, I'm pretty sure that public school teachers badger people about exams even more.
Yeah. By the way, our homework teacher this year, would you believe? Oh.
Homeroom.
Our homework teacher this year, would you believe it? Oh, who is? Okay.
Yeah.
Read that. I was sure that he'd retire after our second year, but here he is, nagging everyone about studying for exams. Funny enough, I almost had this situation. So I had a teacher who was old, and he was actually the younger brother of our principal.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying, I'm probably going to retire this year, and this is my sophomore year. And next year, he was my first class.
Yep.
And he was still there. And I go up to him, I'm like, so how'd retirement go out? He's like, it was boring. So he actually retired.
Yeah,
came back.
He retired, got so bored, he's like, no, can't. That's so good.
I was like, I'm glad you're back. Like, he had, like, I was one of the only students he treated decently. Like, he yelled at me only one time, and that's because I was drinking my water bottle during an exam.
Stop drinking your fucking water.
I think things like that are the main reason why the mood among the third years is so nervous. I must admit that I'm somehow losing confidence in myself as well, even though I've always fared reasonably well.
You know, I remember how we had a voice for Wanako, but since she just didn't matter, like...
I don't know who voiced her.
I don't either, because nobody cared. Probably me, because you were the main character.
Maybe.
So, but I don't care.
It's so weird to think we are already seniors, isn't it? No, I'm not. I'm still not a senior. I'm in a new school. I'm a freshman. Time has really flown. Freshman! Time has really flown past. I wonder where it went. The new first years seem so young and somehow really innocent. I kept wondering if I was like them in my first year. I've been feeling nostalgic like this for the whole first trimester. Funny thing.
Oh, you're pregnant too.
Like, when I hit my freshman year, I was worried I was going to get pranked because I hear all these stories about my friends getting pranked. None ever happened.
Nope.
The worst that happened was my friends were messing with me, but not like hardcore pranks like they switch out your food for another food or something like that. Like wedgies and... No, that just doesn't happen.
No. I mean, bullying does happen, but usually not like that.
Bullying for me stopped my last year in middle school.
Yeah, you are the big kid. Nobody wants to bully you.
they stopped bullying me when they saw me.
They look at you and they're like, oh, he'll kick the shit out of me if I bully him.
Plus, the bullies who wouldn't stop just moved away.
Yeah.
So, there are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person. I have no excuse for it. By the way, speaking of bullies, really recently I actually got to talk to one of them. For the longest time, he never apologized or called me up and said anything. The way it started was I ran into an old friend of mine. He was friends with my bully.
Yeah.
And while he was in the car, like he was riding with my bully, he hands the phone over to him, and he literally says, "I'm sorry," on the phone.
Sorry, like, man. I thought
finally.
You were a bitch. You're probably still a bitch, but who cares?
But he seems to have changed.
Yeah.
I hope. So,
good to hear it.
I think he lost weight too.
Good to hear it.
The truth is, The times when I visited you at the hospital made me worried about you. I am not talking about your health. You seem to become more distant, disheartened. Not a joke.
Yeah, he was both literally and metaphorically disheartened.
It was natural after something like that happened, I'm sure, but somehow I got the feeling that you had given up on something back then. Happiness, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he gave up on ever having true love because true love literally tried to kill him.
So what is the mod? I'm guessing Misha route and maybe a Watiko just comes back for some fucking
Wanako gets in a fucking car accident.
Uh,
What is wrong with you, man?
no, she just comes and visits him, like she finds him or something.
Like I said, I'm not telling you until you
Beat the game.
I will not tell you what the mod is unless you find yourself on the mod's route.
I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I am really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered most, even though I like you so much. At least now, finally, I can be honest. This is a really long fucking letter.
Yeah, it's
It's
letter.
still going! If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you to not give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you've managed to get back on your feet on your own. Not that the distance between us is also physical. It also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we'll meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't? Question mark. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means, write back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you are doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Watiko. After reading that long-ass letter, God, oh my God, it took me 2 hours to read it. Reading the letter, I folded it like it was and placed it in my desk.
See, like I would, I'd be impressed that it took him so long to read this damn letter that like in 2 hours. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm 8 hours into editing a fucking video.
I don't know what to think of this. I feel empty and confused. Why now, after all this time? Just yesterday, I decided that I can't let myself stay like this. That I tried to get on top of my own life. Reading this letter just reminds me of what could have been. Damn it, my life. Of course, I wish that I didn't have to be here. I'd want to be in the same class with Watiko again. Maybe we would talk every day now and go on dates. My life didn't go like that.
Fuck you, Hart. You suck.
I didn't really need to be reminded of this. Watiko needed to write this letter for her own sake, and I'm glad for her that she could. But it would have been better if I hadn't read it. Of course, she's right. I thought of the same thing yesterday. I had fallen into a pit of depression, and now have to try to climb out. I ripped out a page from my notebook, and after a moment of thinking how to frame my words, write a short reply to Watiko. Find it difficult to be really honest with her, but at least I tried to appear somewhat convincing. Sorry, I have found a new bae.
I'm sorry, I no longer find you attractive.
I'm going out with Hatsune Rin. I'm sorry, I'm going out with
I'm
Ren.
Hatsune Riku.
I don't want... I think her name is Kagime Ren. That is her name, but everybody refers to her as Ren.
Yeah.
I don't write her...
Well, again, in Japan, their names are backwards, so
Yeah.
Ren
Kagame.
is her first name.
Or about Watiko at all. I doubt she will write me again.
Maybe.
But I don't feel sad about it. I fold my own letter to her, and I have no envelope. Set it next to Watiko's. I'll mail it to her later. Then I'll lie on the back of my bed, looking at the monotone gray ceiling. A bird sings outside of my window, and a sudden gust of wind filters my curtains. Damn it, Evie!
Letters.
Stop infiltrating my games. The
What?
summer...
What?
Evelyn from Resident Evil can control wind.
Oh, okay.
The summer afternoon feels still, as if time had stopped for a brief moment. I think about all the things I've lost and will never again
Regain.
regain. Damn it, if only my heart could be repaired. Let's just take this patch off. Oh, I'm bleeding out. I'm bleeding.
That's why it's there, you idiot.
Put it back on. Put it back on. Thus, the
Languid
days of mid-June passed by. I mailed my letter to Awatako and received no reply.
That's
like I ever
fine.
was expecting it. Having decided to ditch the old me, I started observing my fellow students even closer than I did before, hoping to understand how other people cope with their own issues. I started seeing things I didn't before, like Ren just sitting there, saying nothing to me for hours. Nothing new. It makes me wonder if I'd been wrong twice. Superficially?
Yep.
Everyone is normal, yet so striking normal that it shocked me at first.
Abnormal, yet strikingly normal, but whatever.
I admired the way the new schoolmates turned my prejudices around just like that.
Prejudices.
Prejudices?
Yeah.
Around just like that, simply by being themselves. Now that I've gotten used to it, I begin noticing other kinds of tones in people surrounding me every day. Their skin tones.
You know how that episode of Valhalla that just came out today had a title of something along the lines of like rational slurs.
Is that a rational slur?
You're getting there.
This is why we record visual novels. There is this soft, numb sadness all around me, and unfortunately it's my joke. I can see the effort everyone has to make just to get through the day and how it weighs on their shoulders, like it weighs on me. Every time I go up to the scale, I get even more weights put on me. Even the brightest smile is just simply subdued. Slightly subdued. Every outburst of annoyance just slightly dampened. It's subtle, but it's definitely there. I try to think what it means, what I can learn from others. I wonder if deep down, everyone is as lost as I am. Is there even one person in here who has truly found peace? I start to feel doubtful about myself once again. Damn it, this rain cloud won't go away. I can't decide whether these people are happy, unhappy, or if they've just learned to cope and now live in an unfulfilling limbo like I did all spring.
That's close enough.
I escaped from these feelings into the towering piles of books I carried to my room from Yuko's sanctuary. After realizing that this will just shut me down even more, I start going to the art club's room more often, usually whenever I can. Oh god. I choked on my water.
Well, don't do that, sir. We need you breathing so that you can talk.
Anyway, Ren too seems to spend more time in there than in her own classroom. Anyway, Ren seems to spend more time in there than in her own classroom. No, it's
Ren also seems to spend more time in there than her own classroom. So that's right.
I've often seen her totter towards the door at the end of our corridor, that wooden door and the room behind it, smelling of paint and paper. Seemed to mean more to her than the rest of the world combined. She says she has special permission to use the room, which I don't doubt at all. I don't think Nomiya would deny Ren anything. He seems to dote on her like an uncle upon a favorite niece.
For all we know, it literally is true.
It might be. The object of his affection, however, has no favorites. She says she appreciates the teacher a lot for going the extra mile for her sake, but even when she says that, her expression is the same as always. It's as if she's talking about a particularly unremarkable rock that she saw the other day. Hey, did you see this rock? This is my rock. I married it. Don't ask me where he got the ring. can't really figure out.
Well, that ring probably came from a certain geological structure that was under the ground at the time.
Oh, Mr. Rock, how you lay me down at night, so.
Their relationship was rocky at first, but
now it's just
things
stony.
have smoothed out recently.
Ren doesn't seem to let anyone close. I don't think even Emmy could say she's crossed the gap that seems to separate Ren from the rest of the world. Why am I even thinking about Ren? Do I like Ren? Maybe I do. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. She seems so indifferent, yet so passionate at the same time. Somewhere the school bells ring the last call of the day.
And all that, yeah.
And all that was a couple months ago.
Yep.
I realize I've been zoning out for who knows how long.
2 months!
Dazed. I sit up straighter, trying to look as inconspicuous as possible. The pungent smells of linseed oil, and turpentine mix in my nostrils. As I draw a deep breath, I feel drowsy and lightheaded.
Somebody should probably open up a window.
It's already this late, and a few club members left early, so it's just me, Ren, the teacher, and 2 other girls who are also about to leave. Oh, finally the next picture.
Yep.
Ren is sitting to my right, slowly working on a painting while I'm idling the time away. I don't think she realizes I've been watching her, because I've been watching you this whole time. With a nimble move of her delicate ankle, she dips the brush into crimson, hey, reference to the old channel, paint and presses it lightly onto the canvas. A stain spreads around as if the brush was bleeding. Her progress has slowed down to a crawl, but now I've learned that this is dangerous for her technique. As the paint must not be allowed to dry before she's finished. It occurs to me that I am literally watching paint dry, and yet somehow I'm not feeling bored, despite spacing out just now. Maybe I can use my mind's eye and get a reference from her foot. Most of the time, the art club is very relaxed and freeform, apart from the times when Nomiya gets really excited about some technique or style he wants to teach us about. Everyone is free to pursue their own interests. Yeah, guys, I didn't know my technique until after school.
That's interesting.
Like, I just never had a technique. Lacking one, I keep floating around without a direction. I try this and that, but nothing really leaves me with a deeper impression. That is me. That is what happened to me. Not to mention that I don't seem to have a special knack for anything. Well, I did get praise for my attempt at watercolors, and I felt pretty good about that myself, but that's it. I suppose it's to be expected. I joined the art club mostly on a whim, after all. I'm thinking that maybe I should quit the club, if it's going to be this pointless, but there's nothing really wrong with pointlessness, and I can't exactly say I'm unhappy. Unsatisfied, maybe, but I've got only myself to blame for that.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody to blame but me. As a pair of girls exit the club room with a cheerful bye-bye.
Bye-bye!
Nomiya stands up from his desk, and he marches over to me, scolding me for one last time.
No.
His chair scoots back with a loud screech that breaks the harmony of the quiet afternoon, and it ruins
He's going over
Ren's
to Ren.
paint. He taps a pile of papers in his hands twice against the tabletop in order to straighten them out, then stretches his back.
I have a faculty meeting to attend, so I can't stay. I'll have to do some paperwork later, so if you want to stay, we can talk then. Sorry about this.
There are 2 people here, but he is really talking to only one of us. Nomiya spends extra hours of his time monitoring Ren after mentoring Ren after official club hours are over, and I'll bet he'd like to discuss his plan of getting Ren's art into a gallery a little more. It's alright, I think I'll probably be here, but it's not a big deal if I'm not. I don't really have much going on now. Ren answers without moving her eyes from her work in progress. The tone of her voice is neither the polite kind expected when talking to a teacher, nor her usual monotone.
So I won't need to send a search party if you aren't here.
Yes, no thanks. I don't like to party. We can talk later.
Good girl.
Smiling, the teacher picks up the rest of his papers and makes his way to the door. I glance at the clock above it and then at my watch to double check. There be 3 minutes apart, but nevertheless the club's meeting time is over now. Ren seems intent on staying here to work on her piece while waiting for the teacher. I can't quite imagine what their one-on-one time would be like. Would they really discuss anything? Ren is always so subdued in what she says. Are you just gonna keep thinking to yourself there? And when she does say something, I'm ignoring her. Hey, listen to me. No. It's difficult to understand what she's talking about. Maybe Nomiya just talks endlessly like he does at club meetings, letting Ren absorb what she will from his infinite well of art knowledge, like a sunflower turning to face the glowing sun. Do you mind if I stay? I thought maybe I'd give watercolors another try. I blurted out the excuse, sort of accidentally embarrassing myself. Ren doesn't take her eyes off her painting. Okay. Like I was expecting any other reaction. Okay. Yeah. I shift around in my chair, then get to fetching a cup of water, brushes, colors, and some paper. The sound of my footsteps evades the still afternoon air. Before starting, I tried to recall what the teacher told us, an important philosophy of the medium. Working with watercolors means more working with water than working with color. I tried to keep that in mind and dip my tiny stable brush into the water cup. I'm mixing yellow and blue, trying to capture the sunlit treetops outside of the window. The sun is low, so the yellows are more pronounced and everything looks darker. I still can't quite connect what I see with my hand.
With what my hand?
With what my hand does with the paints, but it's a passable attempt from my level. After a while, I start losing my focus and move the paper aside, deciding to watch Ren work for a while instead. Damn it, I can't take my eyes off her.
Yeah, just paint Ren painting.
That little while stretches first into a long while, then into a really long while. Ren paints her entire being, fully concentrated on the brush between her slender toes and the painting coming to life one stroke at a time. She seems determined and yet at the same time relaxed, effortlessly moving the brush around, never hesitating. Colors meet and heart mix and cover each other on the canvas, bending to her quiet will. Are you just gonna keep staring, or are you gonna do your shit?
She's not painting that much, or paying that much attention.
I didn't know anything about composition, structure, or any of that stuff, but I really like Ren's painting. I like Ren. I like how she looks when she paints.
That's a more interesting statement. A more interesting statement on, it's not really about the painting itself. It's more about how she
looks at the end.
How she's how she is in the world while she's painting.
As usual, the silence between us compels me to speak rather than merely wait for her to open up. She might end up saying nothing at all. Do you mind if we talk? I don't mind. Wow, okay. I kind of wanted to ask more about why you get so weird about this thing the teacher wants to arrange for you. Ren picks up a tube of paint and squeezes it between her toes on a palette almost as easily as someone with opposable thumbs would. Taking up a brush again, she replies, a lot of things, and some... Why is her eye blue?
I'm assuming it's reflecting the light.
Maybe. A lot of things, and some not things. Unthings. I don't think that's a word. Do you want to talk about it? I try to reach out to her clumsily, ignoring the embarrassing feeling of awkwardness. Ren keeps her focus on the painting, spreading more and more paint on the canvas, her lips forming a perfectly straight line as she concentrates on the job. Also, I want to talk to her because she says some of the best things. Not really. Talking is hard. I mean, it's not hard. I'm talking even now. But saying the right things is really hard for me. That's why I have to think about it.
Yeah, that is.
No matter what, I can't say the things I want. That sounds weird. It's true. I say all kinds of things that I don't really mean all the time. And sometimes I forget words and then I use the wrong words. I even come up with new words for things that already have some. That's the worst thing. I get really nervous and everything comes out a mess and even I don't really understand what I want to say. And also, just before I can get finished this sentence, everything I'm telling you is bullshit. I just do it for the lulz.
No. I believe her.
I think there's something wrong with me that makes it like this. Remember when I said I can only think of 4 things at the same time? I nod wordlessly. It's not really 4. I mean, it is 4, but everything else is also there kind of in the background, like being at an amusement park and a beehive at the same time, but that's not the point. I used to do better, like 6 or 7 things. I think so, at least. I feel like I'm becoming dumber. I think everyone has times when they feel like they can't say the right things, but it's there all the time. Stronger and deeper, yet deeper than the holler is a good word. I like the word deeper. It's close to Dipper. That was a good show. Too bad there's not a season 3. It's that feeling of being underwater. Maybe it's just art. The more I paint, the more words I forget. Maybe at some point I will forget how to speak completely. Feels like I'm slowly forgetting everything. Do you remember what you thought about things 3 or 4 years ago? I don't. Yeah, me, I have a pretty damn good memory. I can remember all the way back to my first house I lived in, and that was before I met Older Bro.
Yep.
Way before. A long pause ensues, during which time seems to bend around itself, almost tying itself into a knot. I don't think I've ever heard Ren talk this earnestly and for so long about anything before. It's like I'm fading away from the world. Ren's foot has stopped its work on the canvas and she is staring at her painting, unmoving, as if gazing at some faraway horizon. Sunlight briefly glits in the corner of her onyx eyes.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the outside light.
Okay. Something floats up into the top layer of Ren's being and
that's the cursor.
and she lets out a deep breath. She blinks and it's gone. Paintings stay behind. When I look at my old things, I remember what I was thinking back when I made them. They make me feel like I can be with all the past me's when I was a different me.
That is the most like it's not even a metaphor, it's just like a very philosophical statement of just like these are my memories, the memories of the past me's before I'm the me that I am now.
I guess they are the proof of my existence. She uses the exact same words Nomiya used when he spoke to us of the nature of art. I didn't think Ren was paying attention back then. I wonder if she was listening, or whether she heard the same passionate speech from Nomiya before. Oh, yeah, or she is just as good as the guy from the world God only knows. Like, he can play video games and pay attention at the same time. Wish I could do that. Either way, I feel overwhelmed. Boy, you are complicated. I would have taken up writing a diary. Her eyes quickly flicker to my direction, and then back to the painting, but she doesn't pick up the brush anymore. That's a great idea. Why didn't I ever think of that? I gave you an idea, okay. Are you being sarcastic? What sarcasm?
Okay. Take everything you've ever said where you weren't 100% being literally. That.
Don't call her on a joke if it is one. Right at that moment, Nomiya returns from his meeting. He waves to us a very melodramatic hello, mildly surprised to see me here along with his pet student, walking with a
Boisterous
gait to his desk. He drops his papers upon it. He picks up a handkerchief and cleans his glasses with incredibly meticulous care before walking over to us. Before he is within earshot of us, Ren says something to me in a quick, quiet voice. Change it. Change is the scariest thing in the world to me. And I seriously don't know if I want to change into a person who could do the thing the teacher wants me to do. I don't know if I could even if I wanted to. Yeah, I don't like change either.
Yeah. Hello again.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. You have to do both hellos, which sucks.
Hello.
What's going on?
He smiles a bit sheepishly, looking at both of us with uninhibited interest. Nothing. We were just talking about the thing with your acquaintance and the gallery. For Ren's works of sort.
Oh, any decisions?
I look at Ren, who is trying to arrange the bothered expression on her face into something else. Anyway, I don't think I have much else to say other than that you should go for it. Okay, so what do I think?
So here's the interesting thing. There's, based on your previous options, you have different options here.
Really?
Yeah, so there's the bottom two, aiming high and be a big hit. Those always appear, I think. But you also have, actually no, there are, so up till now you've had 6 different options.
Alright.
Because you chose You're Amazing, you got, I think you'd be a big hit.
Okay.
Because you chose it's refreshing for the things you like, you got because it would be exciting. And because you chose you want to be more like Emmy, that gave you the you should aim high option. The other options you could get are you'd be wasting your talent otherwise, you won't get a chance like this again, or it isn't like you at all to hesitate like this.
I think you'd be a big hit because it would be exciting. I'm trying to see what Ren would like. Ren would probably like you should aim high.
Well,
because I don't know about excitement for her.
Yeah, I don't think she's.
I think you'd be a big hit. Says that's exciting. So to me, these are 2 exciting things, and this one's just about the middle tier. So I'm thinking you should aim high.
Yeah, and that does fit pretty well with the previous thing where she was saying, she was talking about Emmy being her Emmyist, and saying that she doesn't know she's found the thing that would make her be her Renist. Yeah. So, like, I feel like that would be, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think this is like the middle ground.
Okay.
So, I think you should aim higher. You should take that chance. Even if you crash and burn, at least you tried. Another love crash and burn. It'd be worth it just for that. Nomiya sucks in his breath and lets it out after a pause, as if he wants to add something, but he manages to restrain himself. Ren finally replies to me. You don't think I'm good enough like this?
oh, she took it as a challenge.
No, I think you're selling yourself short if you think like that. It's cowardly.
Yeah, she took this as I feel like you're taking she took it as a challenge, and you took it as a self-deprecation.
I don't know if this is bad. Ren looks...
There really isn't a bad option. It's just different dialogue trees at this point.
Ren looks absent-mindedly at me, not saying anything. I can't even tell if my words had any effect on her. I just don't get it. Anyone else would be jumping up and down in excitement. What's the point of doing your best being at this art club if you don't do anything with your talent? I'm telling you, I'm going to be angry with you if you give this up.
you have got some emotion in you. You're just like, I will be angry.
You are good at this.
Yeah, just like, I will be angry at you if you give this up.
My voice raises higher. I don't know what makes me say this. It's like I've been taken over by some force.
Yeah, the force is
really
Emmy.
Do feel
this, by the way, is the choice you got for choosing that you want to be more like Emmy. So basically, you are directly saying,
rough.
Be like Emmy. Try, give a care.
Images of a letter written on cute stationery flash in my mind. Images of the masked faces of my parents, my doctors. Images of the time I've wasted. They mix into my feelings about Rin like a torrent or of molten iron. I want to continue, but Rin suddenly stands up. Fine, I'm going. She trots out of the room without saying anything. I stare after her, still seething,
yeah.
Through with the voice of rationality in the back of my head, wondering if I made her angry as well. The teacher lets out an embarrassed but extraordinarily loud laugh.
You care a lot for her, don't you?
Nomiya looks at me over his circular pink glasses, seemingly smiling sympathetically. Damn it, he saw through the sarod.
You made friends with her then, Nakai?
Well, something like that. I guess. Depends on how you look at it, to be honest. I'm not really sure. It's more like me and Ren just tend to hang out around each other irregularly. That sounds like a friend talking or not about something that more often resembles some twisted mockery of philosophy rather than normal everyday things that friends chat about.
Sure. Well, that's all good, isn't it? You're a new student, and we should be promoting integration into the student body and such. I can't remember all the buzzwords they spew at faculty and Yamako Foundation meetings, but that's how it is. Tezuka isn't the most social person around these parts either.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So she talked about my suggestion to you?
No, not really. I think it's been more me pressing her to decide something. Maybe I shouldn't have.
No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm too soft with her, even when I shouldn't. I don't really know how to handle Tezuka. She's so independent and willful. I wonder if this is what every old geezer of an art teacher who got his hands on a young and fiery prodigy felt like.
He chuckles ironically to himself a little bit, turning to face Rin's latest work, which she left drying on the easel.
Yeah.
She departed so abruptly that I wondered if she considers it finally finished.
So let's see the painting then.
He leans in closer, peering at the canvas.
It draws you in, doesn't it?
Nomiya stands back straight, his face a dreamy, nostalgic visage. I don't answer him, as he seems to be taking my agreement as a given.
I sometimes stay here after hours just to look at Tezuka's paintings. She's really just prodigious, and at such a young age, I get shivers just thinking of what she could become with a few more years of refinement. You asked what makes an artist, remember? This is it. They take a piece of the world and reshape it in their own image, metaphorically, of course. Looking at her makes you wonder what the world looks like through her eyes. It's a wonderful thing to be young and full of passion. The most extraordinary time of your life. You would do well to remember that, Nakai.
Yes, sir.
It's so silly. People always ask artists, where do you get your ideas? As if ideas were something sold at the market for pocket change. You can't explain inspiration. For people like Tezuka, it's like breathing. It's an instinct.
Ultra instinct.
I've met maybe one or two with the same kind of raw potential. But no amount of potential will amount to anything if one doesn't work to realize it. It's practice, technique, skill. Draw for an hour every day, for a few years, and even the most hopeless case can become a passable artist. Take you, for example. Tezuka is not brilliant because she was born with a natural talent of this kind of thing. She's brilliant because she works harder than anyone, ever since she learned to hold a pen, most likely. And all of it with her feet, no less. Absolutely phenomenal. And that's why what you just did is so impactful, because you didn't tell her you thought it was a good idea. You thought that, like, it would be something she could be proud of. What you said was, I'd be disappointed in you if you didn't go do that. You're directly telling her that she is not trying her hardest if she doesn't go do it, and all she does is try hard.
Oh, did we fuck it up?
No, again, like I said, there is no way to fuck this up. There's only one option that fucks it up, and you're nowhere near it.
Okay.
So, all you've done is produce a certain
character
version
that wants Ren to try hard.
Yeah, you want Ren to try hard.
Silence finally lands in the club room as Nomiya lets himself get drawn back into Ren's painting, generally murmuring acceptance towards the still wet canvas. What kinds of things do you paint yourself? As if waking from a reverie, he looks at me, surprised at my talking to him.
Oh, I don't. Not anymore. I became an art teacher only after my career in that field came to an end. Now I just pass on knowledge to the next generation.
The way Nomiya answers is curious, but both given and withholding information. I feel like asking more, but he cuts it before I get a chance.
Now you should run along, my boy. It's almost dinner time, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Have a good evening.
You too.
I quickly collect my stuff, and apparently Ren was listening this whole time.
No.
Quickly collect my stuff and step out into the deserted hallway, leaving the teacher alone with his musings. The weekend will be here soon. It's amazing how fast time flies here.
Maybe the weekend will actually win an Oscar this time.
I promised Amy I'd join her for the celebration of her triumph at the track meet last week. That should be plenty of fun.
Now we get to see what happens because of your choices. How is she going to react to you on Sunday?
I don't think she's going to like it.
Don't know.
Are you sure you want to go? The weather that has been wonderful for all of June has finally taken a turn for the worse. The leaden cloud...
I think it's leaden. Unclear. Unsure.
The leaden clouds drooping over the town look worrisome, and the air feels heavy and still, just like before rain. The forecast says there's a 60% chance of rain this afternoon. Maybe this will mark the beginning of the rainy season.
Does Japan have a rainy season? Like, I don't think it has like a monsoon season, but I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Of course I'm sure. I've been waiting all week for this.
Emmy had planned a picnic at some nearby park, with snacks aplenty brought from the convenience store. But with the weather this gloomy, it seems risky.
I asked some other people to come too, but they didn't want to go because of the weather. We have to prove them wrong.
Wrong how?
You know, like how it always rains when you think it won't, and when you think it will, it doesn't. We'll go no matter what, so it's a win-win situation.
Or how about you just...
But if it rains on us, it's a losing situation.
Or how about you just find a gazebo and picnic there instead of on the grass?
I've been going out without sweets for weeks because of practice for the track meet. Now I can splurge on anything I want. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Hold on.
Such a good
Hold on. You get to splurge on sweets, but the one fucking festival day you're like, no, you can't have any sugary or fried shit.
Oh,
you're going on a diet.
That's a different playthrough.
Fuck you.
I thought you were all about a healthy lifestyle.
There it is. Oh, Isao, you understand so little. There's not a single girl on this planet who doesn't love sweets.
I don't know about that.
We'll take it. Accepted. She doesn't count. Anyway, look, she's wearing a guy's outfit. She clearly isn't a girl. Anyway, is this clear?
Fuck off. That's damn. Shots fired. Completely. We will go and eat our fill of sweets.
Damn straight we will. I'm gonna have to work it off later, but it's so worth it.
Emmy seems to be extremely determined about this. She is positively
exhilarated,
brimming with energy as always. But something seems special today. Ren's here. It looks like she can hardly stop herself from jumping up and down on the spot.
Come on!
Let's go, little darling. I grasp the wooden handle of the umbrella corporation I brought and start to follow the two girls, who seem to have no qualms about leaving me behind if I keep daydreaming. My umbrella is really fancy, the old-fashioned kind with red and white, with a curved handle and a metal spike at the end. It used to belong to my grandfather. It looks like an antique, but it's in really good shape, almost as good as new. I actually have my grandmother's umbrella. She left it in the card, and so I kind of just kept it.
Yep.
It's really big, too. I remember how my grandfather, my grandmother, and I felt neatly under it when a rainstorm caught us on an afternoon until the wind blew and it went upwards. It almost broke. Anyway, afternoon walk years ago when I was around 9 or 10. My grandparents are both gone now, but I still have the umbrella to keep me dry when it rains.
That's nice.
We walk along the road. Every day is a winding road. Leaning down from the school towards the
I get a little bit
store.
closer.
The clothes.
Clouds.
The
The clouds!
What the fuck's the clothes?
Cloud.
The clouds.
Come on, man.
The clouds casting their dark shadow down on us.
Should
None
we
of
just
seems
call
to
them the
be
sky sheep? Will that make it better? God
turned
damn.
for the worst. No, it's more like sky wool. I am pretty sure I just felt a raindrop on my head. Sorry, you guys think of...
Where the
Sorry.
fuck did you get sorry out of this?
I don't know. Didn't you guys think of taking umbrellas? It really looks like it'll rain.
One word at a time, man.
Ren looks at her limply hanging sleeves and shrugs her shoulders.
I really do need to get one of those, like in the kids' cartoons where it has the little thing that bounces along the words. We need to get that for younger bro, because apparently, if he doesn't pay attention to the exact word, he will fuck it up.
What happens is I start reading and then
and you read ahead.
I read ahead and I start not daydreaming, but
Yeah.
my eyes.
Glass over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have one. Besides, a little rain won't kill us.
And a little stream stopping won't kill it either.
I mean, it might.
Well, unfortunately, guys, that is going to have to be it for today's episode. So we'll come back next time. So like and subscribe to YouTube and Twitch. Comment to your videos if you read them. Follow on Twitch. And we'll see you guys on the next Katawa Shoujo. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.